What's up?
All right, so Alan Jaeger, tell me about your role and who you're with.
My name is Alan Jaeger. I'm with the Naval Surface Warfare Center, Port Hueneme Division, and I lead the tech transfer through the Office of Research and Technology applications. So kind of working with partners through the community, through academic institutions, other government institutions to really help us develop these strategic partnerships that we need in order to accelerate deployment of capabilities for our fleet, our warfighter.
That's a mouthful. That sounds great. So, so as always, and the reason I say that is because for me, coming from industry, when I first met you, all that sounded really complex, and usually you have a bunch of acronyms and stuff like that. So, for someone like me in industry or one of the people here at the event, how do they engage with you? What is that? What kind of like interaction is that with you?
Yeah. So, I am really their starting point for again, a conversation, a partnership, ideas, if we're looking for, and so how do you engage? Just come up and talk to me?
Yeah.
Send me an email?
See how easy that is? That sounds so much easier than the second answer. That's great. So, I mean, this is what we're trying to do with these days like this and some of the other events that we're running, is to be able to open up this line of conversation, be able to have it, because most people are scared. They don't understand any way to get into anything that you guys are part of. So what are some of the other ways besides sending you an email? Are there programs? Are there opportunities? What do you suggest is a good way?
Yeah, so like I said, events like this, Industry Day, forums, we do annual Coastal Trident, which is kind of a more formal program where we can work with companies, technologies. We have our technology open house, our FATHOMWERX venue where we meet. We're there all the time. So we try and just make ourselves available to the community in these different events and different programs.
That's great. So do you care what size or how far along the technology is? Do we need to be a Fortune 500 company? Can we be small?
No, we're looking to really engage the technology wherever it's at. And obviously, depending on the maturity, the technical readiness level of it, the company, there are different ways and mechanisms that we can do that. But we don't have any kind of, there's no minimum or maximum size for a company that we're looking for. It's really, again, looking at finding these technology solutions that are relevant to what we're doing. Perhaps it's something that was developed on a commercial side that we can use, or we're developing jointly together. Perhaps it's technology that we've developed we can license out. So there's really a lot of different options and ways to engage with the community of all different sizes.
That's great. I know that each year or every so often you guys are starting to look for different kind of areas of focus, topics. What are you currently looking for right now that if somebody had a technology out there that they should definitely come approach you?
Sure. So the Port Hueneme Division is really focused on in-service engineering, supporting our deployed ships that are currently out there. And so everything from radar systems to combat systems, communication systems, that are currently deployed on the fleet, how do we support those better going forward? So what kind of technologies, again, corrosion, unmanned systems, new materials, additive manufacturing, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, all the different technologies that exist, we're interested in for kind of the application of this idea of supporting the in-service fleet that we currently have.
That's so cool. And then this goes back to Coastal Trident, right? You guys can take some of those technologies, put them out at their pace, on an actual ship in some cases, and test them out.
Yeah, get the technology into an operationally relevant environment. That may just be out in a lab that's out in the port or in a maritime environment. We may put it out on a ship to see how it's used. We may put it on our self-defense test ship, or we may get it on an operational ship. But we have a variety of different sort of ways to look at, evaluate the technologies, but also in the partnership, giving the technology providers an opportunity to access an environment they may not normally have developed or normally have access to in their development process.
That's great. And then you guys have a similar event to this one at the end of Coastal Trident. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that's really, we invite technology providers, whether they participated in the coastal event exercise or whether they have a technology that is still relevant to what we're doing, to kind of come together and demonstrate what they're doing in a really low risk venue. And so, where this is trying to figure out, right? So this is where we'd be out in a port, out on a ship. Perhaps we're doing tests and experiments that are hard for people to see, but we want to bring that back, kind of put everyone together in a room for a day, and it's really about, from the Warfare Center, to share what our requirements are and see what's out there. But some of the best things that have come out is the technologies working together. I have an unmanned system that can do this, well, I have a scanner, I can sense this, and so seeing those kinds of technologies come together within this umbrella of a sort of in-service engineering perspective.
Oh, that's amazing. So, and then on Coastal Trident, is that all Navy, or is it?
No, it's I think last year we had 207 different organizations represented within the entire program.
Wow.
And so that's we had 7 different Navy warfare centers or labs, as well as federal, state, local, private sector, schools involved.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So, and then where does that take place at? I mean, that's
yeah, it's all sort of centered around the Port of Hueneme here in Ventura County, but operationally we go from about Santa Barbara down to San Diego.
That's big. That's a big spread there.
Yeah.
So, if someone wanted to find out more about Coastal Trident, where should they go?
They can go to our website, which is antx.org.
Okay.
ANTX is Advanced Naval Technology Exercise.
Okay.
We love our acronyms.
Yes, we do.
And so there's the latest information on there, our planning meetings. We just finished our concept development meeting. We'll be kicking off an initial planning meeting in February.
Okay.
So still plenty of time for people to get engaged. And engagement means a lot of different things. It can be, hey, I just want to come along and kind of see and learn about the environment. What does in-service engineering mean, and how might I be involved? To, I really have this technology is mature, I want to put it on to a ship, onto a port environment, and see how it works.
And at a minimum, they should sign up for the Antex event and kind of see the results, and then kind of figure out how to get involved in maybe next year and when they would fit in. And then for yourself, what's the best way, if they, not through Coastal Trident, but to try and get involved with Navy, you, or what's the best way to try and do that? Do you have an avenue for that? Is it just your personal cell phone? How do we?
Yeah, we're trying to sort of within the greater FATHOMWERX community and ecosystem, make ourselves available depending on what the interest and engagement is. You know, myself representing the NAVSEA organization with counterparts within NAVFAC and NAVAIR, and so helping to sort of decipher this Navy, you know, what's on the other side and who's who. We're actually pretty nice people, some of us.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Alan. I appreciate it. Thank you for the time and all the information.
Thank you.
Thanks.